Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Dr. Hathaway.
Good
Good morning, Lachey.
Good morning.
Thank you both for being here. Dr. Amanda Hathaway, you have such a stellar reputation when I was putting together my script for today. So I want to thank you up front for the work that you do and the lives that you're obviously saving.
Thank you so much.
Let's talk about breast cancer a little bit. Breast cancer is, how do I want to say, it's rising among young women. I was really surprised by that. But women can empower themselves. Tell me what that means.
Yes, so what we know is that early breast cancer is breast cancer that is found in the breast but may have spread to lymph nodes. Historically, we thought about this happening in people in their 60s and 70s, but we know that the incidence is getting younger and younger. What I always tell my patients is to know about your clinical features and what your breast cancer is to stay on top of that.
I'm going to jump to Lachey. Lachey, thank you so much for being here. I want to hear about your story of being 26 years old and feeling something suspicious. Could you capsulize that for us?
Yeah, so I felt a lump in my breast and I work out a lot. So I initially thought it was some sort of muscle, but I noticed that it persisted and I felt it grow. So I went to my PCP and I got a script to get an ultrasound and a mammogram. And yeah, it turned out to be hormone positive, HER2 negative breast cancer with a high risk of reoccurrence. And I was just so shocked because at 26, it's like, wow, that is unheard of almost. I've never heard of someone, before myself being diagnosed so young. And I immediately went into fight mode and I was like, okay, what can I do to get past this? And what is my future going to look like? So I got my eggs frozen. So I'm very happy about that. And I started advocating because I believe it's so important to know what to do next and to know your body so that you can be able to actually seek care, because you can't seek out care if you don't know anything is wrong. So that's why I'm so happy that I'm partnering with Eli Lilly, because I'm able to spread this message even more. And I want to say that if you want to find some more information, you can head to lilly.com. That's LILLY.com.
Lachey, thank you so much for being here to tell your story. I always think that's triumphant in itself. Doctor, I'd like to know, just talk a little bit about HR positive and HER2, because that's what Lachey mentioned, and we may not all be familiar with it.
Absolutely. So when we diagnose someone for breast cancer, the first thing that the pathologist will tell us is the biomarkers of the breast cancer. This lets us know what's feeding the cancer and what's driving it. We always check it for the estrogen receptor, the progesterone receptor, and HER2. HER2 is a protein that can be overexpressed in about 20% of patients. But estrogen and progesterone are what we think about as the female hormones. And so when these are positive, we call it hormone-positive breast cancer. 70% of people diagnosed with breast cancer are those diagnosed with hormone-positive, HER2-negative breast cancer, like Lachey. And then we know that there are certain things that make it at higher risk of recurrence, such as lymph node involvement, size of the cancer, and how fast growing it is. And when there's a higher risk of recurrence, there are additional things that we can do to try to decrease that risk.
When it's found in what's called early stages, what does that mean?
Early stage breast cancer is cancer that has not spread to other areas of the body. And so you could have breast cancer in your breast and locally in the lymph nodes near the armpit, but it has not spread to the bones, the liver, the lungs, or some of these other organs. And when we catch it in the early stage, it is highly treatable and often curable.
Doctor, I'm going to take this one from social media. People listen and watch us in so many different ways. And the poster would like to know, is early stages considered stage 0 also?
So stage 0 breast cancer is a non-invasive breast cancer. Usually when we're talking about early stages, we're talking about stage 1, 2, and 3.
Thank you so much, Poster. Hopefully that answers your question. Doctor, this is something that you're talking about young women, and you're talking about our daughters. For my audience is made of people born between 1946 and 1964. They're called baby boomers. So you're mostly talking about our daughters and our granddaughters. Why is this becoming such a challenge for them so early?
So we do know that there's a lot of different things that go into a cancer diagnosis. Sometimes it's lifestyle, hormones, genetics. But what we tell patients is just to focus on knowing your body, knowing what's normal for you. And then when that diagnosis is there, talking to your doctors about your specific biomarkers to know how to significantly decrease your chances of it coming back.
Okay, this one comes from Facebook. The poster wants to know, is there anything that women in this age group can do to lessen the opportunity to have cancer?
So definitely we talk about advocacy, like Lachey has said, knowing your body and knowing what's abnormal so we can jump on it as it comes about. We do know that some of these things like diet and exercise play a role, but I really highlight my patients once you are diagnosed, knowing your clinical factors. And so knowing if you are at high risk, talking to your doctor about chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, hormone blockers, and a newer class of medicine that we call CDK4/6 inhibitors. These medicines decrease the chances of cancer spreading and significantly increase the chances of people not seeing their cancer come back in the future if they have some of these high-risk features.
Dr. Hathaway, you and Lachey have been exceptional guests. Where do we go online to get more information?
You can head straight to lilly.com, LILLY.com.
Ladies, I want to thank you so much, and blessings to you, Lachey, on your journey. I know you will be well and healthy. And Dr. Hathaway, keep doing good work.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Valder Beebe, host of The Valder Beebe Show. We have over 1,000 videos on ValderBeebeShow.com and YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show. We upload new videos daily. Our site is a modern baby boomer platform with news and information important to boomers. Subscribe to youtube.com/Valder Beebe Show and stay connected as I interview the world's most fascinating people.